Find your path, pursue your passion, and realize your dreams at Prince George's Community College. PGCC provides academic and career pathways, flexible learning, and financial assistance. Your passion, your path, your PGCC.
Good evening. Welcome to the Prince George's Community College Scholarship Showcase, an information session talking to new and prospective students about getting started at Prince George's Community College. My name is Kim Johnson, and I'm one of your hosts for this evening. Joining us as co-hosts are alumna Janet Quartet and current student. My name is Kim Johnson, and I'm one of your hosts for this evening. Joining us as co-hosts are alumna Janet Quartet, and in addition, you will hear from representatives, and I'm one of your hosts for student academic planning co-hosts are alumna Janet Quartet, and in addition, you will hear from representatives. Stay tuned for your hosts for PGCC swag bag. All right, Terrell and Janet, let's get this going. Stay tuned for your hosts for PGCC swag bag. All right, Terrell and Janet, let's get this going.
Thanks, Kim. Let's see who's on the live stream today. If you all could post in the chat and tell us where you are, we will put your message on the screen. While we're waiting for your responses, thanks, Kim, we're going to share a little bit about ourselves today. Jarrell, if you all could post in the chat.
My name is Jarrell Johnson. I am a current student here at Prince George's Community College, and also I'm the student trustee here. I attended Bishop McNamara in Forestville, and I will be attending UMBC next year. Janet? In Forestville.
My name is Janet Quartet, and I am an alumna of Prince George's Community College, and I currently attend Howard University, where I'm pursuing my master's in social work.
Forestville.
My name is Janet.
Okay, I see Kenna Jones from Fort Washington.
Mimi from Fort Washington. Hi.
Okay, I see. I have Marshall from Mitchellville. And that's all I see in the chat. Kim, would you come back and join us?
Yes, so we appreciate everyone joining us this evening. Today, you will learn about how to become a student at Prince George's Community College, the importance of completing key financial aid information, and you will hear details about some of the amazing scholarship opportunities that we have to offer. But first, let's hear from a few of our previous scholarship recipients at Prince George's Community College. In this short video clip, you will learn firsthand the benefits of attending and receiving a scholarship at the college. Each year, hundreds of students receive scholarships here at Prince George's Community College. They can range from book scholarships to full tuition scholarships.
I chose to enroll at Prince George's Community College because Prince George's Community College is one of the best colleges in the state of Maryland, and anybody can get this scholarship. I just came from Nigeria for barely a couple of months, and then I applied for this scholarship, and then I got it.
Being a Promise Scholar pretty much means that this is the beginning of everyone trying to get free community college, and it's an honor being one of the first students to actually have it.
It's such a competitive scholarship that when I did receive my acceptance letter, I was extremely ecstatic. Having that relief and not having to worry about how I'm going to pay for college.
It was just a real burden lifted off of my shoulders and my family's shoulders, being able to come here and receive a free education. Great video. Our first presenter, Marquino Stewart, will talk to you about the programs Prince George's Community College has to offer and walk you through the steps of applying to the college.
Good afternoon, good evening, Ms. Corte, and thank you all so much for inviting us to be a part of this amazing broadcast. As Ms. Corte said, my name is Marquino Stewart. I'm the coordinator of recruitment and community outreach in the Office of Recruitment and Admissions here at Prince George's Community College. And in this portion of the showcase, we'll be talking about how you can enroll, the types of academic programs you can pursue here at Prince George's Community College, how much it costs to complete the programs and courses as well. Feel free to post your questions in the chat, all right? So let's begin by discussing the steps you would take to enroll as a first-time college student and reviewing a helpful reminder. So before we get in, let's start by getting familiar with a simple saying. Repeat after me. When I don't know what to do next, check the enrollment steps. One more time. When I don't know what to do next, check the enrollment steps. The enrollment steps will be your best friend as you begin your college journey here at Prince George's Community College. They'll be a great source and resource, and they'll offer excellent guidance and provide links to helpful resources for you here as a student. So let's jump right in and start with the enrollment steps. So step one, every new student who's interested in enrolling at Prince George's Community College will be asked to complete an admissions application. There's a $25 application fee that is currently being waived, so the application is free. Once you complete the application, please keep an eye out for an important acceptance email containing instructions on completing step 2, which is to activate your OwlLink account. So our mascot is the mighty owl, so you activate your OwlLink account. This account will be extremely important here as a PGCC student. Now, when you move on to step 3, you will complete the new student orientation, and that will provide you with information on some of the awesome resources available here to you as a student. And by the time you get to step 4, we want to strongly encourage you, if you have not started, to apply for as much financial aid as you possibly can to either reduce or eliminate your out-of-pocket costs. Now, step 5 will lead you to either taking our placement test or submitting documents that will substantiate your ability to waive the student placement test. All right. Now, when we move on to step 6, you're going to schedule an appointment with your academic advisor to discuss your program of study and the courses you'll be required to complete under that program. All right. Now, when we move on to step 7, have you register for the courses that you've discussed with your academic advisor, and you'll do so through the student self-service portal. And finally, when we get to step 8, we're at the end. You'll ensure that your tuition and fee charges are covered by the payment options that are listed through our website. So that's it, steps 1 through 8, and you're done with the enrollment steps. All right, let's move on to the next slide. All right. So this slide now covers the new student orientation process and some of the key documents that you submit as a PGCC student. To complete the new student orientation online, you will have to have gained access to your OwlLink account that I mentioned earlier. You'll be logging in to watch a series of short orientation videos and complete the section quizzes that appear at the end. This process will take roughly about 20, maybe 30 minutes max. And once you're done with it, the completion of the NSO will be reflected on your student account within about 24 hours. You'll also want to submit, along with your application, some of the important admissions documents that are listed, all right? So with this process, of course, as I mentioned, you'll complete the application. You want to make sure that after that's done, you're going to submit your final official high school transcript, or if you're transferring from another institution, submit your final official college transcript with all your grades posted. These pieces of information will be uploaded to your student record at Prince George's Community College. Also submit any applicable tuition waivers as soon as you can so that they can be processed. Your FAFSA and your MISFA application will also be important, and where applicable, please submit your disability support services documentation as soon as possible. Now, the college itself also has, as many other institutions at the moment, a vaccination mandate process. So please visit our website, www.pgcc.edu, for further information concerning the vaccination mandate requirements. Please advance to the next slide. All right. So on this slide, you will see a lot of information, right? Please don't get overwhelmed. We're going to take a brief look into the Pathways program, all right, and what you can pursue as a career here at Prince George's Community College, or completing your associate degree or certificate option. So the term pathway describes an initiative launched to enhance the student's academic experiences and to help them, or you as a student, more efficiently navigate your academic path and complete the courses that you need, all right? So on this page, you'll see 10 of the pathways listed in the first and second column. All of these pathways contain programs that help lead you to completing either an associate's degree, which on average takes about 2 years for 2 years for full-time students, or certificate and licensure options, which can take days, weeks, or even months. All right. And after you complete a lot of these requirements for the certifications and licensures, you can also take a lot of the final examinations on our Largo campus at our on-site exam center. Please advance to the next slide. All right, affording an education at Prince George's Community College is very, very convenient. We have the price breakdown here for in-county, out-of-county, and out-of-state residents. As you see, Prince George's County residents pay $107 per credit for their tuition. The out-of-county and out-of-state costs are also reflected there. This amounts, after a 2-year education, to about $9,365 for an average in-county resident. That is very, very competitive when it comes to looking at our 4-year counterparts. So we have low costs here. And if you are able to get scholarships, grants, or other forms of financial aid, that can amount to 0 costs out of pocket. You'll hear a little bit more as we proceed through the rest of this segment, but please advance to the next slide. Finally, this is our contact information. If you have any questions regarding the enrollment steps, how to get started as a Prince George's Community College student, or to learn about the resources that you can be afforded here at Prince George's Community College, please contact us, the Recruitment and Admissions Office, at apply@pgcc.edu. I work along an amazing set of recruiters. Our names and our email addresses are also found there. Thank you so much for your time. And now I'm going to open the floor up for some questions from you all. Janet?
I chose to attend Prince George's Community College because it was the affordable route for my family and I. And at the time, I was worried about the burden and the cost of education. But since I attended the dual enrollment program and graduated with 25 college credits prior to graduating high school, it made sense for me to continue my studies here.
That's an awesome testimonial. And you mentioned a dual enrollment program. Can you tell us a little bit more about that while our viewers are typing their questions in the chat?
The dual enrollment program gives high school students the opportunity to take college classes and earn college credit while they are still enrolled in high school.
Awesome. So you're telling me that essentially while you're still a high school student in the PGCPS system, you can be completing college credits simultaneously and start getting a jump start on your college education?
Yes, you can call it a head start.
That is amazing. So, I'm sorry, we do have one question. All right, so is there a deadline to apply to PGCC? So I can actually grab that one. So there is no deadline to apply to the college. However, we strongly encourage anyone that is interested in starting at PGCC to complete the application as soon as possible. We do have semesterly start dates, right? And we have classes that start a little later, so they're going to be considered accelerated courses. As the saying goes, the early bird gets the worm. So apply as soon as you can, get the other necessary documentation in as soon as you can. All right. So while we are, okay, so there's another question. So do I complete my scholarship and financial aid applications before applying to PGCC or after? That is also a great question. All right. So time is of the essence. We encourage students to do them close in proximity time frame wise as possible. You can complete your FAFSA or other financial aid applications before applying or vice versa, as long as you have the necessary information included in those scholarship applications to ensure that PGCC receives the information so we can award you. That will be the key factor here. So of course, again, the early bird gets the worm, but whether you apply first or complete the scholarship applications first, it doesn't matter. Just do them as soon as possible and ensure that we receive that. How long does it take to get accepted to PGCC? That is a great question. So we will automatically accept you, and that is a convenience of attending a community college. We are here to assist the community. So once you submit the application, that is now again free online, you will get an automatic acceptance shortly after. The email normally goes out within about 15 minutes or less. So do keep your eye out for that acceptance email. And again, if you don't know what to do next, check the enrollment steps and contact us at apply@pgcc.edu and we will assist you. All right, so we have a question from Kina. What is the MISFA? So the MISFA is the Maryland State Financial Aid Application. That application, of course, you can find more information online through the Maryland Higher Education Commission website or MHEC website. So you can Google that term, but that term actually talks about an application for students who are unable or ineligible, I should say, to complete the FAFSA traditionally, whether it be because of residency or social security number issues. So you can complete that application online and submit it. This, in summary, allows students to potentially get some free money from the state of Maryland to help pay for or offset your educational endeavors at Prince George's Community College or other state institutions. So it's free money from the state of Maryland for students who are ineligible to complete the FAFSA application. All right, do we have any other questions? All right, excellent. So I do not want to take up much more time. Janet, thank you so much for having us once again. We appreciate it, and I'll turn it back over to you guys.
Thank you. I think we have another question in the chat. It says, how do you establish in-state residency?
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that. Oh, excellent question. All right, so we have an awesome records and registration office at the main campus in Bladen Hall 126 of the Largo campus. If a student wants to establish in-state residency, if it is not established outright in the application and they need to update it, they can visit that office and provide documentation. Of course, you need at least a photo ID. So of course, a state ID, driver's license. You can also submit if you have a vehicle registration, if you drive, you can also submit tax documents to prove that that is your residency. You can also utilize mortgage or lease statement. And there are a few other documents that you might be able to take, but those are the essential ones that you will need at the very least. All right. Are there any other questions? Have I missed any? All right, excellent. So again, thank you so much to the Special Scholarships team. Ms. Corte, you all have been great. We hope to see you at the end of the broadcast. Thank you. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Mr. Stewart, for that valuable information. Joining us next is Ms. Alicia Jackson Warren from the Office of Student Academic Planning and Career Readiness to share with us important information about advising and more course enrollment.
I got a little ahead of myself. Good evening, everyone. And hi, Jarrell. Thank you so much for that warm introduction. I am Alicia Jackson Warren, and I'm the Program Director of Career Development and Internships. And it is my pleasure to share with you the services and resources available to you at the Office of Student Academic Planning and Career Readiness. In order to enroll in credit courses for those students who are seeking credit credentials, such as a credit certificate or an associate's degree, then college readiness must be established. So in order to determine that you have met the college readiness requirement, there are a few elements or tools that will help us to determine whether or not you have successfully achieved college readiness. One resource or mechanism for determining your readiness is the results of your placement test scores. So for a student who is incoming to the college, who has no prior college experience, your placement test scores will help us to ascertain your ability to perform well in our credit courses. And it shows that you have the foundational knowledge and skills to be able to perform successfully in those credit courses. So your placement test scores are very helpful and instrumental in determining your readiness for credit courses. Also, your SAT and ACT scores. Based on the scores there, again, it can be determined that you are eligible to enroll in credit courses. For those of you who are in high school or who have recently graduated from high school, if you've graduated within 5 years of the date that you seek to enroll at the college and you've earned a 3.0 or higher GPA, that will also allow you to be determined to be college ready. And you will then subsequently be eligible to enroll in your college level credit courses. So that again is a 3.0 or higher cumulative GPA reflected on your high school transcripts. And that is provided that you have graduated within a 5-year period, and that is within 5 years of the date that you wish to enroll at the college. So anything beyond 5 years, we will not be able to use, and you will be expected to follow alternative means of determining your college readiness, to include your placement testing opportunity and perhaps SAT and ACT scores. But primarily placement testing will be the main mechanism for us to determine your college readiness if your high school transcripts exceed the 5-year window. And then also certain transfer credits. For those students who are coming with college credit, we can look at the coursework that you've taken and consider the program of study that you wish to pursue at the college and determine your eligibility to enroll in credit courses utilizing that information as well. So those are all great points that you definitely want to keep in mind and consider as you're preparing to enroll in classes here at the college. And speaking of enrollment, it's handy to get to know your academic and career advisors within the Office of Student Academic Planning and Career Readiness. Academic and career advisors help to clarify academic and career pathways for each student at the college. For those students who are coming to pursue non-credit programs, an academic and career advisor can give you guidance on how to achieve your short-term goals and show you how your non-credit coursework can provide you with an on-ramp to your credit programs. So it's a great thing to do when you are meeting with an academic and career advisor, talking about what your academic and career goals are so that they can also ensure you're on the right path to achieve those goals. And of course, when you enroll in classes, there is a financial obligation. So the academic and career advisor can also explain the various payment options that are available to you to help address your financial obligation to the college. Additionally, your academic and career advisors provide career services such as resume review, mock interviewing, cover letter writing guidance and critiques, and general career advisement. Again, we understand the value of your academic preparation, and we want to make sure we're assisting you in preparing for the workforce. And so we have academic and career advisors ready to provide that assistance. Our academic and career advisors also offer guidance on transfer to four-year colleges and universities. Many Prince George's Community College students seek to continue their education beyond the 2-year level. And so our academic and career advisors work very closely with our four-year colleges and universities within the region and have established articulation agreements with a number of colleges even beyond the region so that our students are best positioned to continue their education seamlessly. And then finally, academic and career advisors provide referrals to support services that we have available here at the college, and as circumstances require, resources that are available within the county. So your academic and career advisor is a person you want to get to know and someone you should visit on a regular basis so that you're able to stay on track and achieve your goals. Speaking of meeting with that academic and career advisor, we strongly encourage students to schedule their advising appointments utilizing the Navigate appointment scheduler. Navigate is available to you by going to pgcc.navigate.eab.com. In order to access the tool, you'll be needing to use your OwlLink username and password. And you recall that OwlLink establishment was something that you did early in your enrollment process. And thank you again, Marquino, for bringing that to everyone's attention. That information is going to be critical information for you to recall so that you can access the various administrative systems to continue with scheduling your appointment and possibly even enrolling in your classes. In addition to using your Outlink username and password to access Navigate, then you want to click on Navigate Student Access. As staff members at the college, we also have access to Navigate, so we want to make sure you're entering into the proper portal so that you can receive services. You'll click on where it says appointments, and then you'll schedule the appointment based on the day and time that's most convenient for you. Just to note, we do provide email service, telephone service, on-site in-person service, and virtual service. So if you prefer to have a virtual appointment, you definitely can schedule that, and we have advisors available to provide services virtually. We do also have advisors located within Bladen Hall, room 124, and based at our Extension Center locations at University Town Center and Laurel College Center. So if you are located near those locations and you prefer to have an on-site visit with an advisor, you can schedule to meet with an advisor at those locations as well. And it's a pretty simple process to schedule an appointment. As you can see, it's a simple 3-step process by and large. You want to determine the type of appointment that you would like to schedule. And for academic advising purposes, you want to make sure you select academic and career advising. And then you want to determine the type of service or indicate the type of service that you're seeking to receive. And if it's academic in nature, you want to be able to select that. And then finally, you want to pick the date and time that's going to be most convenient for you. It's ideal that you arrive about 10 minutes before your appointment, be it virtual or in person, to make sure you're on time and ready to be served by an academic and career advisor. And then finally, the Office of Student Academic Planning and Career Readiness is available to provide services Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. On first and third Fridays, our staff undergoes training so we can stay abreast of all the tools and information we need to properly serve every one of our students. As a result, we are then available between the hours of 2 and 6 p.m. If you should have questions during that time or beyond that time, you're encouraged to send your email messages and questions to advising@pgcc.edu. Be sure to include your full name, your PGCC student ID number, and ideally, be sure to use your PGCC student email so that we can verify that it is truly you, the student, and we can process your request promptly. That's all that we have here at this moment. I am certainly interested in hearing more from you, Jarrell, in terms of your experience. As a matter of fact, can you share with me the best advice that you received from a PGCC advisor?
Yeah, I would say the best advice I've received is to not bite off more than I can chew. As college students, we feel the pressure of completing our degrees within the 2 or 4 year time frame that is set. That is ideal for the college, but that's not necessarily conducive to being an effective or being a excellent student. Sometimes you have to set your time, set your schedule and say, look, I'm not going to be able to take 15 courses this semester. Let me take the 12 and do great at that 12, as opposed to getting C's in all 5 of your courses because you took too many classes. So the best advice was, don't bite off more than you could chew.
That is fantastic advice, and kudos to that advisor, and kudos to you. Again, we provide guidance. However, it's up to the student to decide what guidance they're going to take. I do see that we have a question in the chat from Kina, and it says, would the advisors also be able to provide information on internships that may be available in connection to what I'm focusing my studies on? Kina, I am so excited that you asked this question, and the answer is yes. as it happens again, I am the program director of career development and internships. So we do have a free resource available to you to utilize to help you to go through the internship search process. The resource that I'm referring to is College Central Network, and we have that available on our career services webpage that you can access at www.pgcc.edu. Just type career services in that search bar and click on the first link. That will take you to the career services landing page where then you can get to College Central Network and set up your free student account. And yes, our advisors are definitely happy to provide you with assistance on internships. Another great question has come in. How often should I meet with my advisor? It is my professional recommendation that you meet with your advisor no less than twice a semester. First, at the beginning of the semester to make sure you know exactly which courses that you'll be needing to take to satisfy your program of study. And then nearing the end of that same semester to determine which courses you'll be taking in the next semester or term based on your successful completion of your current coursework. So at least twice a semester is sufficient. If you should have some challenges or difficulties during the course of the semester or term in which you are enrolled, you are certainly encouraged to meet with your advisor promptly for further guidance and assistance. Great question. Oh, another question. What if I'm not sure which major to choose? Great question. So many students come to college and not know exactly what major to pursue, and they're not quite sure of a related career path as well. We do have resources available to help with that discovery process, and we have assessments available within our tool called Career Coach. Career Coach is also available on our career services webpage. And so by going to Career Coach, you can set up your free account and utilize the assessments that are available there too. And I encourage you to take both, the short one and the long one, so that you can see what commonalities there are in your responses. And based on that information, you can follow up with an advisor in an advising session to discuss the outcomes and take a look at the industries that are indicated that are a good fit for you based on how you responded to the questions, and also see which industries are not such a great fit. And from there, you'll be able to see the academic programs that are associated with those careers, and we can get you started on those classes so that you can pursue the career and academic program of interest.
And it was actually the career coach that helped me pick my major of sociology.
How about that? So by any chance, did you also do the career assessment that gave you some insights on that?
I did. I completed both the short version and the long version. And after reviewing the long version, I was able to compare what I wanted to do in my career with what was offered to me through the pathways from the career coach. And sociology was the perfect choice for me.
Excellent. And I'm so happy that you're sharing with all who are on this particular call with us or within this broadcast so that they know that this tool really does work. But I want to encourage everyone to answer those assessment questions honestly. You cannot answer those questions based on what your parents may want you to answer or what you think is the best answer. Answer those questions from the heart. Be honest. And that's where you're going to get the best results in terms of what the assessment indicates as the best career path and academic program of study for you. Thanks so much for sharing that fantastic outlook on life and the resources that you utilized, Jarrell. It's been a pleasure sharing with you all today. And certainly if there are any further questions as we continue in the broadcast, I'll be available to respond at that time. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson-Warren. And moving on, we're going to move to our next guest presenter, who will review the process of completing the most important steps in applying for financial aid. Let's welcome Ms. Nakia Sharp-Starkey, who is the coordinator in the Student Financial Aid Office.
Good evening. Thank you, Jarrell. Again, my name is Nakia, and Sharp Starkey, and I am a financial aid coordinator in the Office of Student Financial Aid. Tonight, we're going to talk about the FAFSA versus the MISFA, what you need to apply, what kind of aid is available, verification for submitting documents, and how do you know if you're actually eligible to complete the MISFA application. So first, we're going to discuss about how to apply for financial aid. The first step is to create an FSA ID and password. You will need this information to electronically sign your FAFSA application. When creating this FSA ID, we encourage you that you use your personal email address, because each academic year you complete a FAFSA application, you will have to complete this, you will have to log in with this FSA ID. Next slide. After the FSA ID is completed, you will log on to studentaid.gov to complete the FAFSA application. You will log on to the FAFSA application with the FSA ID and complete the application and electronically sign it using the same FSA ID. You can complete the FAFSA application as early as October 1st each year. It is very important when completing the FAFSA application, you want to put our school code. Our school code allows our institution to be able to review your information and receive it. And as you see on the slide, our school code is listed. So FAFSA eligibility requirements. In order to be eligible to complete the FAFSA application, you would have to be a U.S. citizen or eligible non-citizen, must have a high school diploma or GED, not in default or any federal loan, enrolled in an eligible degree program, and also be enrolled in at least 6 credits if you are going to accept federal student loans. So what kind of aid is available due to FAFSA applicants? When you first complete the FAFSA application, you're applying for all federal grants. That consists of federal Pell Grants, federal supplemental opportunity grants, Maryland state grants. You also are being eligible for scholarships, which are state, institutional, and foundational. The third option is self-help, which is federal work study. Federal work study is a grant where you'll be able to work in the institution and you'll be able to receive a grant. And remember, grant is free money and money that we do not have to pay back. You also are applying for federal loans. Automatically, you do not have to accept the loans, but it is an option for you to fund your education. What if you're selected for verification? What verification is verification is the process by which student financial aid determines the accuracy of the information that's provided on the FAFSA application. The student financial aid may request additional documents from you or your parents at any time. If you're selected for verification and you must submit verification documents, first you want to log on to our link and navigate to the financial aid link. Once you click the link, you will receive the drop-down of review required documents. Those documents, once completed, you want to submit them to the financial aid office via email to finaid@pgcc.edu. Be sure to include your name and your student ID number so we can link your documents to your record. Now let's talk about the MISFA application, which is the Maryland State Financial Aid application. The MISFA application is for qualified children and undocumented immigrants to be considered for various types of aid. The MISFA is specifically for undocumented students and can be completed as early as March 1st each academic year. The MISFA application is housed on MHEC's website and is completed through the Maryland Higher Education website. First you will need to create an MD-CAPS account on the Maryland Higher Education Commission website. Once your account has been created, you should complete the MISFA application for undocumented students. The system will take you through an eligibility wizard to determine if you qualify for the MISFA application. The Maryland Higher Education Commission, MHEC, will inform you if you're eligible directly through their website. The types of aid include educational assistance grants, guaranteed access grants, campus-based educational access grants, part-time grants, and Maryland Community College Promise Scholarships. Again, these grants is free money that you do not have to pay back. Next slide. And lastly, we are available on campus and for in-person services and virtually. On campus, we're here in the office Monday through Thursday from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Fridays from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. If you need to contact us virtually, you can always log on to Navigate and visit us in enrollment services and making a virtual Navigate appointment with one of our financial aid coordinators. All questions also can be emailed to us at finaid@pgcc.edu. Hey, Jarrell, I have a question for you. In your opinion, was navigating student self-service to review your financial aid packet pretty simple?
I have to say yes. Anytime you can navigate a website in 3 clicks or less to get to the information you want, I have to say that that's pretty simple.
Great. Yes, it is pretty simple. Okay, we have a question. Sure, the school code is 002089. Why should I complete the FAFSA application? It's several reasons why you want to complete the FAFSA application. The primarily reason why I would say is because it will help you fund your education. You don't know what you will qualify for until that application is complete. The application is free and it doesn't hurt you to apply.
And if I could share, as I was looking to pursue my education at Prince George's Community College, I had a cousin who is an alumni, and I asked her, how did you fund your application? And she said, you better fill out your FAFSA and see if they will give you some money. And sure enough, they did.
Yes, and even if you're not eligible for the Pell Grant, you also will put yourself in a pool to see if you're eligible for any other scholarships. After being approved for the Maryland Promise Scholarship, will PGC now process it after the financial? Okay, here's another question. After being approved of Maryland's Promise Scholarship, why would PGCC not process it after the student accepted the scholarship? Well, the financial aid office at PGCC does communicate with Maryland Higher Education Commission. If that ever is to happen, always come and visit us and show us your award letter, and we will communicate with Maryland Higher Education directly to find out what the miscommunication is. How do I find out what I have been awarded? That is another simple 3-click process. You want to just go ahead and click on our link log into the financial aid screen, and you want to click on award letter, and then your award letter will be under that tab. It will tell you if you were qualified or if you awarded Pell Grant or if you awarded student loans. Can I still receive aid as a part-time student? Yes, you can. You can take up to one course and still receive financial aid depending upon your eligibility. Okay, another question. When do I know how much I'm eligible for? We will not be able to determine how much you're eligible for until the FAFSA application is completed, any verification documents have been processed, and you are awarded.
All right. Thank you so much to Ms. Nakia Sharp-Starkey. Thank you, Jarrell Johnson, for sharing all of that wonderful information about financial aid. We're going to keep it moving. So next up, we're going to talk about scholarships. So again, my name is Kim Johnson. I'm the manager of special scholarships here at the college. And first, I have a question for you before we go to the next. Oh, well, we're already at the next. Okay. Before we go to the next slide, what are some reasons why you would apply for a scholarship? Put your responses in the chat. What are some reasons why you would apply for a scholarship? Go ahead and put your answers in the chat. What are some reasons why? I know there's an obvious answer, but what are some reasons why? And I'll go ahead and share some of the top reasons why you would apply for a scholarship. Next slide. So, top reasons why to apply for a scholarship. I think the obvious one, decrease financial barriers to educational attainment. You want those funds to cover your tuition and fees. But there's some other key reasons why you should apply for a scholarship. Applying for a scholarship often, once you receive it, opens you to additional programming and requirements that you're able to participate in college and community engagement. So, becoming that well-rounded student. You also can receive ongoing support as you work towards your associate's degree or your certificate or your licensure. So you get that wraparound service, and then you just might get it. So why not apply? All right, I see some answers coming into the chat. Yep, lower the cost of education. Awesome. All right, next slide. So, we're going to talk about scholarships. This is our scholarship website, www.pgcc.edu/go/scholarship. Navigating there, you will see the various scholarship opportunities at Prince George's Community College. I do want to say a lot of our scholarships will typically open in March. So the applications will update in March. We have a plethora of scholarships for a variety of students that are based off of merit, they're based off of need, they're based off of extracurricular activities, they're based off of a wide variety of things. So they run the gamut, your major, everything. So I encourage you to review the different opportunities as they are posted. Next slide. So I also want to highlight our foundation scholarships. So they can be found at pgcc.academicworks.com. Our foundation houses their scholarships in a separate portal that you log into with your OwlLink username and password, which Mr. Marquino Stewart talks about you get once you apply to the college. So you log in with your OwlLink username and password, and you can apply to various scholarship opportunities. They do have a general application that you submit. And then once you submit that application, you are matched to other scholarships that match your qualifications, and you can apply specifically to those scholarships. Now, keep in mind, those individual scholarships may have specific requirements, including essays or recommendation letters that you have to submit. So make sure that you're paying attention to those details. But the foundation scholarships are wonderful. They have opportunities for continuing education and associate degree seekers. So I know Ms. Nakia Sharp-Starkey talks about the Maryland Community College Promise Scholarship. I want to go into a little bit more detail about it. This is an excellent opportunity for any Maryland high school graduate or GED recipient. You do have to be eligible for in-state tuition in order to qualify for this scholarship, and you must submit your FAFSA or your MISFA by March 1st. That is a clear deadline. You do apply in the NDCAPS website. On the NDCAPS website, and this is open to students that are pursuing both associate degrees and certificate or licensures in continuing education. So, excellent opportunity to have funding for your associate degree or licensure certification. This scholarship for associate degree seekers is a last dollar scholarship, which means they take into account other scholarships, grants, and aid that you receive first, and then the scholarship will go in to apply to the remainder of your balance. So excellent opportunity. Next slide. Okay, the PepsiCo Foundation Uplift Scholarship Program is a new scholarship that we have here at the college. It just started fall 2021. This scholarship awards up to $2,000 to 80 students. The students do have to identify as African American, Black, Hispanic, or Latino, and have to have unmet financial need, which is displayed by submitting that FAFSA or MISFA. I hope you're hearing how important submitting that FAFSA or MISFA is. And then you must be enrolled in a specific course or program. It's a long list. I encourage you to review it, but it includes a lot of IT programs, culinary arts, business management. It runs the gamut. But it is open to associate degree seekers and those in continuing education. You also have to be able to work in the United States full time. And there's just a very brief application that is required. So I encourage you to check out the PepsiCo Uplift Scholarship. We will open that application for the fall 22, spring 23 school year in April. So please review, continue to check that application, that website for updates. Next slide. So I also want to highlight some opportunities for recent high school grads. I'm really just skimming over a lot of our scholarship opportunities because if I covered every single one, we would be here all night. So I'm skimming over some of our scholarship opportunities. So opportunities for recent high school graduates. I hope we have a lot of high school graduates on the call right now. One of them is the Board of Trustees Legacy Scholarship. This is our scholarship for students who have high academic ability and have displayed strong leadership qualities. So with this scholarship, you'll have to submit an official transcript showing a GPA 3.0 or higher, SAT, ACT scores, and you'll have to submit a list of leadership skills, extracurricular activities, and community service. It is for recent graduates of Prince George's County high schools. You have to be a resident of Prince George's County. It covers you for up to 17 credits a semester. The second scholarship is the Apartment and Office Building Association Scholarship, also known as the AOBA Scholarship. Miss Janet Corte, one of the co-hosts, was a recipient of this scholarship. This is an excellent opportunity for students who are within 3 years of high school graduation from an area high school. You do have to be a resident of Prince George's County, have a 2.5 cumulative GPA from high school or college, and have evidence of ready to start college credit courses. You do have to demonstrate financial need, again, by submitting that FAFSA or MISFA or turning in your tax documents. This scholarship covers up to $1,500 per semester, and having access to the AOBA scholarship, you'll have monthly programming with AOBA members and do community service. It's an excellent opportunity to get involved. And then the Prince George's County Promise Scholarship is also another opportunity. I know a lot of students get confused. I just talked about the Maryland Promise Scholarship, and now I'm going to talk about the Prince George's County Promise Scholarship. The biggest difference between the two is that the Prince George's County Promise Scholarship is for recent high school graduates within the past 2 years of high school. And then the Maryland Promise Scholarship is open to any Maryland high school graduate. Okay, so Prince George's County Promise Scholarship, you have to be within the last 2 years of graduation from a Prince George's County high school. You have to be a first-time college student, so Prince George's Community College has to be your first choice. This is open to associate degree seekers and those who are seeking a certificate or a license in our continuing education programs. Again, this Promise Scholarship is also last dollar. It does cover, typically covers up to 15 credits a semester, but we will take into account any other grants like a Pell Grant or scholarships that you receive first. And then this scholarship goes on to cover the remainder of your balance. So I want to go into a little bit more detail about the Promise Scholarship. Next slide, please. So some important dates for the Prince George's County Promise Scholarship. March 1st, I know you guys keep hearing about March 1st. March 1st, you want to submit your FAFSA or your MISFA application by March 1st. You also want to apply to the college by March 1st. Remember, Mr. Stewart talks about that free application to the college, so why not apply now? And then you also want to submit your Prince George's County Promise Scholarship application, which you can access that application by going to our scholarship page. And then July 1st, if you're applying for the Prince George's County Promise Scholarship, you want to make sure you have turned in any outstanding financial aid documents. So remember, Ms. Nakia talked about going through that verification process. So if you have verification documents that you need to submit, you want to make sure that you have worked to submitted those by July 1st. And then you want to make sure that you submit your final official high school transcript, which shows your graduation date and your final grades by July 1st. And then you want to make sure if you have to take any placement tests, you have done that, you've met with an advisor, and then you register for at least 12 credits as well. Next slide. Okay, so a lot of students ask, how can I increase my chances of receiving a scholarship? Great question. So the first thing I tell students is that you want to make sure that you're carefully reading all of the requirements. A lot of scholarship applications that I receive are missing documents. We may ask for 2 recommendations and they turn in an application that doesn't have any. So you want to make sure that you're reading all the requirements and submitting everything that is asked of for the scholarship, so you're not automatically disqualifying yourself. You also want to know your deadlines. Remember, we talked about that March 1st deadline. So you want to make sure you understand the deadlines of the different scholarships that are available. And then you want to make sure that you have checked your application for errors. So if there's any errors or things, you don't want that to disqualify you or, move you to the bottom of the pack of scholarship applications. So you want to make sure that your application is error-free and it's a complete example of who you are, right? So you have multiple eyes on it. Ask a teacher to look over, ask your parents or a family friend to look over your applications before submitting them. And then again, complete your FAFSA or your MISFA application and keep applying. A lot of students get discouraged. They may submit one application and they don't receive the scholarship. Don't get discouraged. It's okay. Keep applying, keep submitting those applications. And I'm sure those, scholarships will start coming in. Next slide. All right, so that's the end of my presentation. I just wanted to highlight some major scholarship opportunities that we have here. But like I said, there are a lot of others available at www.pgcc.edu/go/scholarships. I've also included the information from all of the presenters and their email addresses. So if you have any questions, please reach out to us. I'm going to hand it over to Janet.
Thanks for the scholarship information. March 1st is right around the corner, so make sure you get your FAFSAs in on time. In a second, you will have the opportunity to ask additional questions. But before we do that, do you want a chance to enter to win a PGCC swag bag? Of course you do. Type #PGCC swag in the chat for your chance to win. We will do a drawing after the question and answer portion at the end.
All right, so at this time, I'm going to invite all the presenters and Jarrell back onto the screen. and we'll answer all your questions. So feel free, go ahead and start typing those questions in the chat so we can get to them. And we will go from there. All right, so Keena asks, if I'm graduating this year in June, can I apply to these scholarships even though I haven't graduated? Most definitely, Keena. Please go ahead and start applying as the scholarship applications open. Promise Scholarship is open right now for you to apply to, and the others will open, like I said, in March and April. So yes, you're graduating. Congratulations on graduating. And yes, apply now. Okay, Madupe, if students get awarded for Promise Scholarship and have other scholarships from outside, does outside scholarships cancel out the Promise Scholarship? So it depends on how much those outside scholarships are worth. The Promise Scholarship is a last dollar scholarship, so we do take into account any other scholarships or grants that you have on your account first. So it just depends. So if that scholarship that you have that's outside covers your full tuition and fees, you're good to go. You don't need the Promise Scholarship, but I encourage you to still apply for the Promise Scholarship to ensure that you're giving yourself the best shot at all funds. So Mandupe asks, last dollar amount means if one gets outside scholarship, it can negate or cancel out Promise Scholarship. So it all depends. So like I said, it depends on how much the outside scholarship is worth. If the outside scholarship is worth $500, then there's still, tuition and fees left to pay, depending on if you have a Pell Grant and things like that. So it just all depends. But Madupe, I encourage you to just apply for the Promise Scholarship, and we can go over all of your options once you apply. Okay, Madupe, you're coming in with the questions. Yes, I'm loving this. Are there any scholarship based on merit and not income? So that Board of Trustees Legacy Scholarship is the scholarship for you. That is our merit-based scholarship for recent high school graduates. So I encourage you to apply for that one once it is released in March. That's our merit-based scholarship. There are other merit-based scholarships that are a part of our foundation scholarship portal and are listed. Once you get here, there's this other management leadership program. There's so many scholarship opportunities. So check the website. Can I receive more than one scholarship? Yes, you can. I encourage you to apply for multiple scholarships. So some scholarships may be worth $1,000 and you get a scholarship that's worth $500. So then you can add both of those up to continue to cover your tuition and fees. So yes, you can receive multiple scholarships. All right. Do all scholarships require having a FAFSA on file? No, all scholarships do not require having a FAFSA on file. However, we encourage you to submit that FAFSA or MISFA to have your best chance at grants and scholarship opportunities. But there definitely are scholarships that do not require a FAFSA or MISFA on file. Are there any scholarships available to out-of-state students? There could be some scholarships available to out-of-state students. Imani, I encourage you to email me at scholarships@pgcc.edu with that specific question, and I can point you in the right direction to some opportunities. Okay, the next question, will I find scholarships in the school website? Because most of the ones there are ones which are for students in a program and are performing well. There's a plethora of scholarships available. And like I said, a lot of them have not posted because they're resetting for the next school year. So there definitely are some scholarships that are not necessarily merit-based or based on specific programs. So I encourage you, keep checking that website, check back in March. There's some updated scholarships that are available to everyone. Okay. Madupe asks, how does the value or total amount of scholarships received over time affect financial aid? Ms. Nakia, do you want to take that question?
Sure. It does not impact your financial aid because you want to be using the financial aid as long as you're receiving the scholarship, unless your financial aid has to be used with the scholarship. So again, it all depends on the situation of the student.
What other questions do y'all have? Okay. Can I transfer before graduating? Ooh, Miss Alicia Jackson Warren, would you like to take that question?
I would. Thanks so much, Kim. Now, while the simple answer to that question is yes, I would strongly encourage you to stick around and complete your associate's degree. And in so doing, you're going to save yourself a large sum of money. Four-year colleges and universities cost quite a bit. And by completing the first 2 years of a bachelor's degree program here at Prince George's Community College, you're going to significantly reduce the cost for you to earn your bachelor's degree. And the beauty of getting your associate's degree in the transfer process is that it can also position you for transfer scholarships and other opportunities. So the simple answer is yes, but I would suggest that you weigh the benefits of transferring with a degree versus just transferring with credits. And if I could also add, consider this: four-year colleges and universities are businesses too, and they are also looking at return on investment and risk. When you consider the types of students that are coming to a four-year institution, you typically have high school graduates, you have students with some college education, and then you have students who have graduated with an associate's degree. When you consider those three populations, the route that has the least risk but the greatest return on investment would be the students who are transferring with that associate's degree. So position yourself to be that student who is going to be advantaged by having that associate's degree before you transfer. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we got some transfer questions. I don't mind answering this one as well. Will all my classes transfer? So I cannot definitively say yes. And the reason for that is I am assuming that you're asking if all of the credits that you earn will be applied to your subsequent degree program at a four-year institution. That is going to depend on the program requirements for that receiving four-year institution. So it's important for you to identify which four-year college or university that you are sincerely interested in enrolling at, looking at what their curriculum requirements are, and making sure that you're taking the classes at Prince George's Community College that align with those curriculum requirements. When you do that, you position yourself very well to have those classes and credits transfer to that next school. So I encourage you to be mindful of your transfer plans. Meet with a transfer services advisor to get ideas and to prepare for your transfer so that the majority of your coursework, if not all of your coursework that you're taking at Prince George's, will transfer over to your preferred four-year college or university.
Okay, Kareem asks, oh, missed the beginning. It's okay, Kareem. I thought a tuition reduction was available for dual enrollment participants. Please confirm. So great question. So the college is currently revamping some of the recent high school graduate opportunities. I encourage you to apply for the Prince George's County Promise Scholarship, which when you click the Apply Now button, it takes you to the recent high school graduate scholarship application. So it's for all recent high school graduates, and we match you to the best opportunity possible for you. So make sure you just go ahead and complete the Prince George's County Promise Scholarship application. So Madupe, is there any tuition assistance out there based on financial hardship due to COVID impacts? Ms. Nakia, do you want to take that one?
Yes, I can. There is tuition assistance for current students. If you are interested in obtaining it, you can always email finaid@pgcc. Once you include your student ID number and your name and a good contact number for you, someone will get back to you and let you know what we have available for that meets your need.
While we're waiting for our next question, I'm curious to hear from Jarrell and Janet what advice you would give to incoming Prince George's Community College students.
I'll let Janet go first.
Thank you. I would say take advantage of every opportunity that is presented to you because you never know what doors they could lead you through. I personally was involved in a lot of clubs at Prince George's Community College, and it just had a really big impact on my transfer process and just being knowledgeable, all of the information that's out there. You really have to take advantage and just enjoy your time there.
Yeah, I'm actually going to agree with Janet on that. That's my advice as well. PGCC is a school that offers its students great opportunities. And if you pursue those opportunities, you'll learn a lot about yourself, not just as a student, but as a person. So definitely maximize the opportunities that are presented to you.
Awesome. Thank y'all for that. Those were spot on advice. Okay. So I see another question. Imani asks, is it possible to transfer from an out-of-state community college to another community college? Miss Alicia?
Yes, thank you, Miss Kim. The answer is yes. So again, how your credits transfer will depend on the curriculum that you're going to be pursuing at your new receiving institution. But the simple answer is yes. You do have to be mindful that official transcripts will be required once you decide to enroll at your new community college so that coursework can apply to your new receiving school's transcript and so that you can continue to build upon it towards completion of your new program of study. But again, the simple answer is yes. You can transfer from an out-of-state community college to another community college. Thank you, Imani.
All right, another question. Are the Board of Trustees legacy and recent high school graduate scholarships the same scholarships? I asked before because I remember applying for the recent high school graduate scholarship. So actually those are not the same scholarship. The Board of Trustees legacy scholarship has a separate application. So with that application, you have to submit some recommendations and an essay and your resume and a list of your activities and leadership and involvement. So it's a very detailed application that you're submitting to show that you are a true legacy scholar. And the recent high school graduate, you probably remember, it's a very quick, short application that just asks for some basic information. So they're two separate applications. And Nikina asks, how much are SAT scores considered, especially since a lot of students were impacted by COVID and distance learning and may have not done that well on it? Mr. Stewart, would you like to take that?
Sure, I can take that. So as mentioned earlier, applying to Prince George's Community College is going to be seamless. We will not turn you away, even if you are worried about your SAT scores, all right? So of course, if you do score well, you could very much benefit from that. And that goes back to how you potentially skip the placement test and also being considered for some scholarships. But of course, we will not turn you away, regardless of your SAT scores, regardless of your GPA, whether you graduated with a 4.5 cumulative or 1.0. We want you, and we want you to be able to take charge of your careers, your educational endeavors, and basically take advantage of the opportunities that we have here at the community college for you.
All right, Gerald, do you want to talk about our giveaway?
Yes, I will. And those were some great questions. I can tell that you would be the type of students that make us PGCC proud. Now let's do our swag bag giveaway. Hopefully you've gotten a chance to enter by putting hashtag PGCC swag in the chat. And our winner is, drum roll please. Kina Chu. Congratulations, Kina, for winning the PGCC swag bag. I have my PGCC swag on, and now you'll have yours. All right. Please email scholarships@pgcc.edu with your name, mailing address, and phone number to receive your swag bag. And guess what? If you did not win, you have another opportunity to win a PGCC swag bag by completing an event survey. The link will be in the chat, and you will automatically be entered to win another PGCC swag bag. Click the link in the chat to access the survey.
All right. That was a lot of great information, y'all. So let's recap. Today, you learned the steps to enrollment, how to schedule with an advisor, the importance of student financial aid and getting those financial aid verification documents in, and you learned about numerous scholarship opportunities at the college. Remember, I just covered a few. There's so many more. So make sure, again, that you submit your FAFSA or MISFA by when?
March 1st.
March 1st.
March 1st. Thanks, y'all. Okay, so for more information about applying for scholarships at the college, navigate to www.pgcc.edu/go/scholarship. You can also email us at scholarships@pgcc.edu with any questions that you may have. So I just want to thank my amazing co-hosts. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Jarrell, for being here. I also want to thank our wonderful reps from the Office of Recruitment and Admission, the Office of Student Academic Planning and Career Readiness, and the Student Financial Aid Office. Y'all are the bomb. And I want to give a huge, huge shout out to PGCC TV for producing this event. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all put this down. So thank you guys so much again for joining us this evening. Take care and be blessed.